there was a lot of announcements, big targets, big pledges. Now people want to be back to reality. How to put that into action? So it's not buzzword anymore, it's how to implement. When you look at renewable energy, for example, big targets, but the reality is that we are far from the trend that we should target if we want to make it happen. So how to accelerate? Now it's turned to action.
And yet so many companies, and I'll look stateside, and I know you and your CEO, Peter Hervik, are spending a lot of time looking at what's going on in the States. You have operations there as well. There is a concern that some investors in the United States, some of the biggest mutual funds and others, some of the biggest commentators out there, dare I say it, some of the presidential candidates, or one of them in particular, have less interest in climate priorities. Do you have concerns that the leadership that we might have had from the United States is waning?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a combination. Sustainability is good for business, and business, I mean, it's a competitiveness altogether.
I'll come back to that, actually, because Karen's got a point for us.
Yeah, well, I can just bring some numbers in. $13.3 billion drained from red states in BlackRock, effectively just taking money out of the fund manager because it was looking to try and push forward with ESG. So in some ways, the anti-ESG movement having consequences on the money side. Are you seeing anything to counteract that, where money is coming into the space?
Big companies are already investing. That's what matters at the end of the day, because big European companies, at least in Europe, this is happening. This is core, and especially because we have, new legislation that is called CSRD, Corporate Social Responsibility Directive, that is pushing every company in Europe to report on what they are doing in sustainability. So it's not just words, it's concrete actions, it's implementation. This is happening.
Is end demand in some industries, and the best example of that really is EV, is end demand having an impact on the investment at this point? Because we're seeing there's waning demand from what we had over the past 12, 18 months for EVs. And you think about some of the industries that are investing in batteries, that are investing in looking at resources. I mean, there's whole consequences across the supply chain. So is that end demand story having an impact on what you're seeing?
Well, I would say that there are buzzwords. So EV, it's one element, and this is good, and we need that for the transition. But it's not only that. We need renewable energy, and we need energy efficiency. So what we need is just to showcase all the spectrum of technology, and not just be fixed on one technologies. At the end of the day, it's offering the full basket. You're a consumer, you have a choice, and this is what we need to be more vocal about.
Gwen, I'm not here to talk Schneider's book, and although for full clarity, I've worked with Schneider for many, many years, with Jean-Pascal and now Peter and yourself as well, just on other things that we've looked at as well. But the share price of Schneider Electric over the last 5 years, and I've just got a chart on the screen now, shows actually a tripling of the share price from the 70 euros, give or take, where they were trading in 2020 to the 210 euros now. This isn't just about philanthropy. This isn't just about companies having to take one for the team for the sake of the green transition. This is a great example of how actually it can make shareholders a vast amount of money. Again, I'm not here to talk Schneider's book as well, but it is a great case in point.
I think it's showcasing that sustainability is good business. At the end of the day, the turning point for this company around sustainability has been made 15 years ago. That's why you see the results paying off right now. So that's why we need to encourage companies to go in that direction. It's good for business, it's good for investors.
What are the dangers for Schneider Electric at the moment? I mean, again, we can talk a little bit about what you do as well. I mean, I've always bemoaned with your chairman this word ecostructure. I really can't say it properly, but I'm doing my best still, which is Internet of Technology enabled buildings, activities, architecture platforms as well, digitisation, electrification. These are areas that need to see great strides still as well. But what are the dangers to this scenario?
Well, the dangers is that we are not talking enough about it. It's easier to talk about wind farms, solar farms, etc., because people visualize that. What we are doing is something that is not visual. It's everything related to data, to Internet of Things, to AI, because at the end of the day, what we promote is a kind of technology layers where you have products, then you have edge, and then you have artificial intelligence. You have, all the intelligence. That's how we bring efficiency in the system. That's how we reduce cost. That's where we reduce energy consumption.